So it's out with the old, in with the new day today in my scrap room. My kit arrived sometime over the past 2 days, and it's my first day off since it arrived, so I'm just kind of shuffling around in my scrap room. What I do this day is I take my kit from last month, which is the April Darlene kit from Scraptastic, and I kind of go through and figure out what I have left over. I take a look at and show you guys what I created this month, which are 4 layouts using the Darlene kit and add-on, and then 2 layouts that are just from my stash. And so I'll share those with you really quickly. There's process videos for each of them, so I don't need to share too much, but I'll show you guys what I have left over from the kit, which is lots this month, because I only made 4 layouts, and that's just because it was a busy month, and sometimes I only get 4 done. I try to get more than 4. I try to aim for at least 5, but oh well. So I'm going to put the layouts aside, and what am I going to do here? Which order? I can't remember which order I usually do, so I'm just going to move my leftovers aside, and I'll show you the layouts that I did. So I'll show you the ones from my stash first. So this first one is from the But It's So Pretty YouTube video hop. So if you haven't heard about this hop yet, check out the link. I'll put it in the information section for this video. But you have until May 17th to complete a project with either 1 or more products that you've been hoarding because they're just so pretty you don't feel like you can cut into them, or you're not sure how to use them. So for me, I used this background paper, was something that I was hoarding. It came in a kit several months ago, and it was just too perfect, and I wanted to have the perfect layout that I'd be able to have the pieces of writing that came on it still be showing, and I just didn't quite have the perfect idea for how to use it, so I ended up putting it in my stash, and then it got forgotten, and every time I looked at it I thought, oh, I don't know what to do with it, so I kept putting it back. So for this challenge I took out this background paper, and it was from the Daily Flash collection from October Afternoon, and I also challenged myself to use these feathers, which also came in a Scraptastic kit lately, and I forget which kit, but they were just so pretty, and they're from Jenny Bolin. And yeah, so I didn't get a chance to use those that month either, so I wanted to get those onto a layout. And then my friend Stephanie Hart brought over this paper, this gold Anna Griffin paper that she had been hoarding, and she sort of added to my challenge by letting me try to get a piece of this gold pretty paper on there as well. So those are the 3 items that I was me or Stephanie were hoarding that I wanted to get on the layout. So this layout has a process video, and it's part of that YouTube video hop that I mentioned before. So check that out if you didn't see it yet. But I did that, and then this is the other layout that I did for my stash, and this was using a lot of the IM collection, and I had scraps of that pretty gold paper. Once you cut into something, it's easier to keep on using it, so I just got that gold paper and lots of splatters and that sort of thing. So check out this video as well. It's like totally 80s. So those were from my stash, and every month people ask me, do you only scrapbook with a kit, or do you sometimes use your stash? I try to do 1 layout a month from my stash, and so I did 2 this month, and that's probably why I only got 4 out of my kit. It's not because the kit wasn't good enough or packed enough to get more layouts out of it, it's just that I ran out of time. So this is a layout that I did from the kit, and it's called I Am Changing. You can check out my YouTube channel for a process video from this one. And then I did this one called The Big Melt, which started off a completely different layout and then became this. So there's a process video about that too. This one is I Mustache You If You Are Having Fun Yet. And this one is on my channel as well. And then finally, I think this is actually the first one that I made, and these layouts are all so pretty. I love this kit. The Darlene kit just made for some really, really, really beautiful layouts. So this one, I kind of played around with using some strips here to kind of emphasize the vertical nature of this layout. And yeah, this one was a fun one to do. This one was a lot of fun. Yeah, so those are the layouts. Check out my channel if you missed any of them. And people also ask me what I do with these layouts, so I will eventually put them in page protectors and put them in albums. Right now, for the past probably 3 months, I've had a shortage of albums, and I've mentioned this before that I kind of resent having to buy albums because they're expensive and they're not fun supplies. Like if I'm going to spend $30 on scrapbooking stuff, I'd rather get a bunch of fun stuff than an album. So I do have a bunch of albums. I've bought a ton of them, actually. I think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 6. But I forgot to get page protectors when I got my albums, so I need to get page protectors. So I'll be getting them into albums eventually. I have a growing pile of layouts that I will eventually get into albums, and then I'll do an album flip because you guys have asked me for album flips as well, so I'll do another one of those soon. So let's have a look at what leftovers I have. I kind of forgot about these, and I would have loved to have gotten more of these onto layouts. So the way that I stored them, I had them sort of sitting like this on my pegboard, and I just couldn't see them as easily, and it didn't occur to me to grab for them. So those were sort of a bit overlooked this month, and they're really, really pretty. So I wish they hadn't been. They're from the Jen Hadfield collection, so didn't use as many of those. I only used one. These Fancy That Enamel Shapes were awesome. I had a lot of fun using these. These were one of my favorite enamel dots that I've had in a long time because of the bows. Didn't get a chance to use this stencil, but it's a stencil, so it'll just go in with my stencils, and I'm sure I'll use it at some point. I used plenty of these, some of these Ellie Studio letter stickers. I used a whole lot of these. In fact, I might not be able to get many more titles out of these. These are the imprint font of thickers. I've already repackaged them into my own packaging, which I do with my thickers. And so, so yeah, I could probably get a layout or 2 more out of this. The I Am collection chipboard stickers, I used lots of them. I actually used more than what I usually use of this kind of thing. So, and I also, actually, I had another set of these, and I dipped into my own set because there were a few of them that I wanted to use again. I think the feathers I used more of those. Then we also had the I Am ephemera pack. And so I used, it's hard to say because it came with a whole lot in it, but I used a lot of these. There's some on every one of those 4 layouts. And then I used a big long strip of these labels. I used the labels as one big embellishment, so I've got 2 of those left over that I just have a place where I keep little labels. I still have 1 of these paper clips left and 1 flare badge, and then I have this Hello die cut piece that I didn't use. So that's the embellishments, and then as far as scrap paper goes, I used a good part of the black paper, including I had done some punches, so I have some leftover punched pieces here that I'll just stick in with my black scraps. And then I've got these 2 pieces of this crepe paper, which I absolutely love. I like the black and white side, but I also really like this, so I think I'll put this in with my green scraps. And then I might put this in with my black and white scraps because it's a strip. And then this will go in with my black and white scraps. It's a piece of that Hello paper. This will go in with yellow. So when I'm deciding where I'm gonna, I do sort my scraps by color, which not everybody would want to do because some people find that really overwhelming or boring or whatever. But not only do I not find it overwhelming, but also I have the space in my scrap room for it. So if you didn't have the space, you might want to just kind of throw it all in one bin. But I do keep my scraps because I find that it's great when you need a yellow piece of paper that didn't come in your kit or you don't have it at hand to just pull it up in a drawer and only see yellow. So I really like doing it that way. So, and the way that I sort is like this one has pink on one side and yellow on the other side, but this yellow is definitely my favorite of the 2. So I'm going to put this in the yellow bin. This will go in the green bin again. This will go in the green bin. Or maybe in the garbage. There's not much of that, and I've got this big piece, so yeah, I'll put that in the recycling, and this will go in the green bin. This will go in my white. So I keep whites, blacks, and grays all together, and I'll put this probably in my white, black, and gray. This will go in my yellow. So for this, I could put this in a multicolored bin, but I don't tend to, I have a multicolored drawer, but I don't tend to use it very much. Papers seem to get lost in my multicolored bin because I don't open it very much. So what I'm more likely to do here is pick one of these colors that I like and put it in that, or sort it based on this back paper because I also really like this. So I could put it in yellow because both of these, well, no, just this side has yellow. Or I could say, okay, I'll put it in the green, or I'll put it in like the orange because there's some orangey colors in it. So I'm not entirely sure where I'll put that. I have some uncut pieces of cardstock. I'm not a big cardstock user, so but I do keep my cardstock and I will use it eventually. I use it a lot for cards, but I don't use cardstock for backgrounds very often. It's just my personal preference for scrapbooking. And these are really big, thick pieces of cardstock. So these would make great card bases, so that's what I'll probably hang on to those for. And I just have a place where I put kit cardstock that is full and uncut, so just put that with that. And then it looks like this, I only took a strip off the top, so this is almost a full piece of this arrow paper, which I love. So I will probably put this in with my green scraps. And then this is, I have the I Am collection as a separate purchase, like I bought it, and so I have it in my stash, so I'll probably just put this back in with the I Am collection because that's where it came from. And I'll put this in with my black and white scraps, put this in with my green scraps, and then I'll put this probably in with my yellow scraps because there's yellow on this side and there's some yellow in it too. So as I said, it gets lost in the multicolor, so I probably won't put it in multicolor. Put that in black, and I put cardstock and pattern paper together, but I really only keep black and white cardstock because that's the only kind that I reach for. Other cardstock scraps I would just put in the recycling. And then this, because it's so pretty with the gold, I'll probably hang on to this even though it's a small piece, and I'll put it in with my white scraps. And then this will go in with my yellow, and that's another tiny little piece of that, so I'll put it in with my white. Even though it has gold on it, I'm going to put it in with my white because that's where I'm most likely to find it and remember that I have it. So really only no full pieces of pattern paper, but these are my biggest pieces of leftover pattern paper that I have. This and these three pieces are my biggest leftovers, which surprises me because I really love this. And then the rest are small-ish. Oh no, wait a second. See, the other thing is that I got doubles of some of these, so I might not have had this much left over if I didn't get doubles of some of them. So I'm going to put these all away. Thanks so much for watching my Out with the Old video. Check out the new kit. I got the new kit for this month is the Purple Rain kit, and so I have the share video up already. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in what came into my scrapbook today, into my scrap room today. So take care, everybody. Have a really great scrappy week.